When we say war, what comes to mind? A devastating battlefield, a deafening noise of gunfire, and the roar of fighter planes rushing through the sky. But now picture a scenario in which, following a long night of partying, enemy soldiers were having fun singing and dancing together, while their weapons remained back in the trenches, ready for the battle to resume the following morning. In another war, a wounded bird flew through bullets to deliver a message that saved 194 American soldiers. Damn heroic. Let's dive deep into untold fascinating stories from American war history. Imagine you're a toddler, totally stressed out during an exam. Your friend slides you a piece of paper, but it's completely blank. Just as you're about to panic, you hold the paper up to sunlight and bam, the answers magically appear before your eyes. Pretty amazing, right? Same tactics were used by American Army during the dark days of Revolutionary War. They mixed ferrous sulfate with water to make invisible ink.
You will notice how softly I write, so as not to scratch any lines on the surface of the paper, lest my secret be given away. Now, we must let this dry thoroughly before sending it.
And when the paper was heated, the secret message would magically appear.
There, we've brought it out. This secret message was written in grade A pasteurized milk. Of course, all secret ink messages cannot be developed by the use of heat.
This ink was used to write secret information, such as information on troops' positions, supply lines, and information on the spy network, commonly known as the Culper Ring. The invisible ink was America's secret weapon, which played a crucial role to ignite the flames of freedom. Just imagine the look on those British soldiers' faces when they realized they'd been tricked by nothing more than invisible ink.
Tell me how you cheated.
With that in mind, let's see what comes next on our list. Benjamin Franklin's fake newspaper. In today's world, misinformation is everywhere.
Democrats are falling for fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
And fake news and human behavior often go hand in hand. Many well-known newspapers and TV channels are accused of spreading false information and propaganda. Misinformation spreads like wildfire, putting many lives under serious stress and danger. This is a big issue now, but did you know that back in the Revolutionary War, fake news actually helped America? Benjamin Franklin's fake news articles played a huge role in shaping public opinion. He printed sensational stories, like the supposed massive slaughter of settlers on the frontier of New York, which fueled hatred among the British. He also published exaggerated tales of revolutionary heroes, boosting morale and support for the cause. Franklin's fake news undermined the British credibility and helped pave the way for America's fight for freedom. Pretty clever, right? Let's move to the next one. Christmas Truce. December 25, 1914, a freezing night on the World War I battlefield. The air was tense and everyone was on edge, when suddenly from the enemy trenches, a hand appeared holding a military cap. Naturally, one of our guys took aim thinking, a sneaky trick. But hold on, turns out it wasn't a trap.
Es nicht bewaffnet! Nein, Otto!
It was a Christmas Eve truce. Imagine the scene. Soldiers from both sides popping out of their trenches like gophers, looking around awkwardly. Hey there, Merry Christmas. Before you know it, they're exchanging gifts like it's some bizarre, impromptu holiday party. They sang carols, some on key, most not. They swapped snacks, probably the only time in history when wartime rations felt like a Christmas feast. Picture this. Hardened soldiers playing games together in no man's land, laughing and joking like they were at a family reunion. They even swapped stories about their families, probably exaggerated a bit to impress each other. And their rifles? Those were left back in the trenches, taking a much-needed holiday break. For one night, the battlefield transformed into the strangest Christmas party ever. And just like that, humanity scored a big win. Religion did this thing, spreading peace and cheer, even in the middle of a war zone. Now that we've had our laugh at history's most unexpected holiday gathering, let's move on to our next story. Homing pigeons. On October 2nd, 1918, during World War I, around 550 U.S. soldiers from the 77th Division were trapped behind a hill, surrounded by German forces. For 2 days, they faced heavy artillery fire and were running low on supplies. Their communication with the base camp was lost, and the camp mistakenly thought they were a lost battalion. By October 4th, the situation worsened when American forces started targeting them, thinking them as enemies. The trapped soldiers' only hope was their carrier pigeons. Yes, you heard it right, pigeons! The soldiers sent out messages asking to stop the shelling. As German bullets flew, the pigeons were being shot down, leaving only one, named Cher Ami. Cher Ami bravely flew through the chaos with a message: "We are along the parallel 2764. Our artillery is dropping a barrage on us. For heaven's sake, please stop it." Her message led to the soldiers being located and saved 194 lives. Cher Ami was injured by a German bullet, losing an eye and a leg, but was fitted with a wooden leg by U.S. doctors and awarded the Croix de Guerre for her bravery. Although she didn't survive long after, her preserved body can still be seen at the Smithsonian Museum as the symbol of bravery and courage against all odds. And just like that, we're on to the next adventure. Hold on tight. Ghost Army. Picture yourself in 1944 as a German general, eyes glued to the English Channel, ready for a massive invasion. But what do you actually see? 600 inflatable tanks and trucks. Yes, 600 rubber decoys designed to look like a huge Allied force. It's like you're expecting a roaring lion to leap out at you, but instead, turns out to be a rubber stuffed toy.
But that M4 tank, that was the beauty. That was a piece of work.
Alright, so your eyes are fooled, but what if your ears are too? Suddenly you hear the clamor of troops and the rumble of tanks from 30 sound trucks blasting fake noises.
Whoever saw it, but it played sounds of tanks and activity.
They had recordings of building a pontoon bridge or any type of bridge, and you could hear them hammering away and swearing.
And then get this, your radio picks up chatter about dinner menus and laundry instead of battle plans. Seriously? Is this an invasion or a cooking show? Even in your wildest dreams, you wouldn't expect to be outwitted by such a clever ruse. This incredible feat of trickery, making the enemy look like complete fools, was pulled off by the Ghost Army.
To be in the middle of this incredible adventure, with the world at war in a foreign country, I just had to put it down.
We were sleeping in hedgerows and foxholes, but nothing kept us away from going someplace to do a watercolor.
Officially known as the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, this top-secret World War II unit was made up of around 1,100 soldiers who were masters of deception. They used inflatable tanks, sound effects, and fake radio transmissions to mislead and confuse the enemy.
They used to refer to us as the Cecil B. DeMille Warriors.
Turning creative deception into a powerful weapon. Their brilliant tactics played crucial roles in major operations like D-Day and the Battle of the Bulge. They truly were the masters of wartime trickery. Although, let's wrap this one up and dive headfirst into the next story. The Loudspeaker Wars. Imagine this. You're peacefully tucked in bedtime, dreaming sweet dreams, when suddenly your neighbor decides it's the perfect time to blast their favorite TV show or crank up the loudest music imaginable. Your serene sleep is shattered, and you might find yourself cursing your neighbor or questioning your choice of living next to them. But here's a twist. This kind of annoying noise wasn't just for irritating neighbors. It was actually used as a war tactic. Yes, you heard that right. Picture this. After World War II, as Germany was divided into East and West and the Cold War began, both the Americans and the Soviets decided to turn noise into a weapon. In 1948, they set up massive loudspeakers along the Berlin Wall and in other strategic spots. Instead of music to calm the nerves, they blasted propaganda, music, and sheer noise to drive each other's soldiers and civilians absolutely nuts. Talk about getting on someone's nerves to a whole new level. Okay, that's enough of that story. Let's move on before we get too comfy. Operation Popeye. And here's a wild one for you. The U.S. Army decided to use Mother Nature herself as a weapon to mess with the enemy supply lines. Imagine heavy rain not just as a weather inconvenience, but as a strategic move. During the Vietnam War in 1967, the U.S. Army was dealing with tricky traps set by the Vietnamese. So they cooked up a secret plan known as Operation Popeye. What's Operation Popeye, you ask? Well, the U.S. Air Force decided to play weatherman with a twist. They launched a covert cloud seeding mission using lead iodide and silver iodide to turn clouds into rain machines. This operation, developed in California at Naval Air Weapons Station China Lake, was all about extending the monsoon season. Why? To turn the ground into a soggy mess and bog down the movement of troops and supplies along the Ho Chi Minh Trail, heading into South Vietnam and the North Vietnamese military bases. So while the U.S. Army might not have had control over the weather, they sure found a way to make it work for them. And that's a wrap on War Chronicles episode. If you enjoyed these hidden gems of history, comment down below your favorite one. Subscribe and hit the bell for more incredible stories. Stay curious, and we'll see you next time on Invictus.